What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Overboy and I'm going to be doing my review for the 1994 movie, The Fantastic Four. So this week for my Marvel Monday, I thought I'd start doing Fantastic Four movies, and I thought I'd start with the one that I hadn't seen yet that was supposed to come out in the 90s. It actually never got an actual release. The only way to watch it is watch this bootleg version. You can watch it on YouTube. I got it on Blu-ray last year when I got my taxes. I found it on eBay and got it on there. But it's never actually had an official release because it was only made so that that they could keep the rights to the movie. That whoever had the rights to it, I can't remember what his name is. Bernd Eichner or something like that was his name. He had the rights to Fantastic Four and the film rights, and decided to make this movie so that he could keep the rights. That was the only reason the movie was made, and it was never intended to be released to the public. It had one screening somewhere, and somehow it got the bootleg. It got like a bootleg copy of it, and it's kind of like the Star Wars Holiday Special. You can find it, but you'll never find an official release of it because it's never been officially released. This one, The Fantastic Four, the beginning of it, Reed Richards is good friends with Victor Von Doom, and they are wanting to try to do this experiment with this passing comet, and it goes wrong, and they believe Victor died, and then it cuts 10 years into the future, and Reed Richards, along with Susan and Johnny Storm, and their friend and Ben Grimm go into space to try to once again do an experiment on this comet, and they end up crashing back on Earth and all have superpowers after everything goes wrong in space. And Reed, of course, has the ability to stretch his limbs and stuff however he wants. Susan can turn invisible. Johnny Storm turns into a fireman, like literally fireman, not like a firefighter. And Ben Grimm becomes this rock person. And there's a little subplot with Ben Grimm not wanting to accept that he's a rock person, which we see done way better in the 2005 version. But the four of them end up forming the team, the Fantastic Four, which they already had the name Fantastic Four because Sue and Johnny's mother said that they were the Fantastic Four at the beginning of the movie, before they get their powers and stuff. And it's really cheesy the way it's said and everything. But they have to fight off Dr. Doom, and I don't even really remember what his big plan was, to be honest with you, because this movie is so awful. It was hard to follow everything that was going on. But this movie is just it's pretty bad. I expected it wasn't going to be very good because I could just tell by little clips I'd seen that it was a very low budget movie, which I was like, maybe if the story's good and stuff I can overlook it, but it wasn't really that good. A lot of the stuff that happens in this was done better in that 2005 movie, which I wasn't even a huge fan of that version. There hasn't been a Fantastic Four movie that's blown me away yet. Now, I'm like most people, I'm not the hugest fan of them, but at least the 2005 version had some decent things about it. This one it wasn't very good. The actors aren't the best. They do the best they can with what they have to work with. And I'll admit though that they did try. I mean, at least they tried. As most I can say. And I don't think they're very well known actors. I know they've been in other stuff, but they're not like people who are big stars or anything. So I can give them a pass for that. The acting I wasn't expecting to be extremely great anyway. But the visual effects in here, they are freaking awful. I've always complained about the CGI in the 2005 version, but at least they gave it a budget and were able to do the visual effects halfway decent compared to this movie. Like the stuff with the Human Torch looks like a PS1 game. It's like really bad. Like it looks awful. And like stuff with Mr. Fantastic when he's stretching and stuff, it looks really bad too. So the visual effects are awful. The only thing that I will say I kind of liked was I did like the way that the Thing looked. Like the costume and stuff looked actually pretty decent. I thought that's out of all of the things, that was probably the one thing I did like, was the Thing looked pretty cool. But Dr. Doom's costume looks god awful. And like there's a part where he's talking and stuff and you can see his jaw moving under his mask and stuff. It just looks, the way it's done, it just looks terrible. Like you can almost see his chin and everything. It's like that mask is barely covering his face. It's just awful. And the other characters' costumes, their Fantastic Four costumes, look okay. I don't think they're absolutely terrible, but they don't look very good either. They're not the best. Now, I can't believe I'm saying this because I really, like I said, I don't care for the 2005 version, but everything that movie did was way, way better than this one. I was really hoping that I could enjoy this as like a so bad it's good movie. And it does have times in here where it does kind of have that so bad it's good feel, but for the most part it's just not very good. It's pretty boring, and it has some, like I said, the visuals suck, the acting isn't that great, the score is alright, it's nothing special. It's kind of a generic little score for a movie like this, and the dialogue in here is really bad. It's like George Lucas' Star Wars prequel dialogue bad. Just really cringy throughout the whole movie, and you can tell the actors are having fun at times in the movie. Like they look like they're having a hard time keeping straight faces and stuff, and they're having fun with playing the characters they're playing. And there's also times like when they're speaking some of this terrible dialogue, they're trying not to laugh because it's like they probably know how bad this movie is. I know there's a documentary about it. I haven't seen it yet. I'm actually thinking about trying to find it sometime so I could watch the behind-the-scenes documentary. I know Stan Lee has said that this was the only reason this movie was made was so they could keep the rights to the character. People who've made or involved said they actually just wanted to make it, but I don't believe they really wanted to release it or anything because of how bad it was. They used the lowest budget they could for it just to keep the rights, and it was not very good. So it definitely is a pretty terrible movie. I'm going to be revisiting the other Fantastic Four movies next over the next few weeks and reviewing them because there's 3 more that I have to do, and so I'm curious to see how much more I'll like the one from 2005 now that I've seen how bad this one is. Maybe this one will make me like that one a lot more. And last time I watched it did grow on me a little bit, so maybe I'll like it a lot more because of nostalgia and stuff too. I don't know, but this one just was it's awful. I definitely wouldn't recommend it, even if you're a Marvel completionists, this isn't really one you have to see because it never had an official release. It's not really anything important to the Marvel canon or anything, so I wouldn't even really recommend going out of your way to try to see it unless you want to watch it on YouTube where it's free. I wouldn't recommend like trying to buy it. I should have just watched it on there. But yeah, this is pretty much to Marvel what the Star Wars Holiday Special is to Star Wars. It's just not very good. Although I would rather watch the Star Wars Holiday Special any day over this movie. I probably won't ever watch this version of the Fantastic Four ever again. In fact, next time I do a giveaway, it might be one of the movies I give away. I don't know yet, but I know I'm never watching it again more than likely because it's awful. So I'd say I'd give it a 1 out of 10. It only gets that 1 point because of the Thing's design. He like I said, he does look pretty cool. That's the only thing I can say about it that I've really liked. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of this movie if you have seen it. I don't know very many people that have, but I know there are Marvel completionists like me that have tried to see all the movies that they've done. So I'm curious if you have seen it, what you think of it, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.